So you can do something called a credit limit migration. You can reallocate your credit limit from one credit card onto another. For me, for sure, I didn't know that at the time being, and I know for a fact if I didn't know that, then plenty of other people didn't know that either. They have something called a household hack because everybody wants to start banking with Navy Federal. A lot of people, they like to join Navy Federal because they want those high limit credit cards, and like credit unions, they're generous. They're not like banks.
And then what was the last one Navy Federal won't tell people?
Yeah, so one thing that I didn't know, so I'm pretty sure now a lot of people don't know this information too, is
all right, guys, I'm super excited about today's interview as we're going to go into 4 things that Navy Federal won't tell you. This is going to be Ishmael from Just Money, and he's going to break down those things.
Yes, we are here. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Ish. Pleasure to be here.
All right, awesome. Well, listen, man, I know right now you're traveling outside the country, doing your thing, right? Probably using those Navy Federal points. Who knows? But either way, we most first off, I appreciate your time, man, and just dropping the gems today to the audience and things of that sort. But listen, we won't take too much of your time, but listen, what are those 4 things that Navy Federal won't tell people when they get an account with them?
So one of the things they have is they have something called a household hack because everybody wants to start banking with Navy Federal, but it's like exclusively to people that have ties with the military. So if you're in the military, you can bank with them. If you're like the spouse of someone who's in the military, you can bank with them. Or if you have a family member that already banks with them, and it has to be like a close relative too, like an immediate family member, like a mom, dad, sister, brother, that kind of stuff, then you can start banking with them. But one of the things that they don't really say is that if you actually live with somebody that banks with Navy Federal, like if you guys are at the same address, then yeah, you're eligible to start banking with Navy Federal. And a lot of people don't know that information. They think you have to have like some kind of ties in with the military, which you do. But if you live with somebody again then that banks with them, then you're eligible to start banking with them. So that would be the first thing.
Wow.
Sure.
Okay. Awesome. And yeah, and I know for a fact a lot of people don't know that information because one of the biggest questions that people still ask to this day is how can they join with Navy Federal if they can't go the normal route? And I think that that's most definitely key for sure. And what are some other things that Navy Federal, they don't tell people?
So you can do something called a credit limit migration. You can reallocate your credit limit from one credit card onto another. And a lot of people don't know that. I mean, at least for me, for sure, I didn't know that at the time being. And I know for a fact, if I didn't know that, then plenty of other people didn't know that either.
Right.
Yeah, but I think the minimum, if I'm not mistaken, it's about you have to have a minimum of 10,000 on that credit limit in order to reallocate it, and then you must you must be in good standing of that credit card for at least about a year to reallocate that credit limit, and that could be like a good thing to do just in case, because with Navy Federal, you're only allowed 3 unsecured credit cards. You might just want to switch from one credit limit to another to make another credit limit higher, so that way you're able to pull out another credit card.
Got you. Okay. Have you seen that often, just based on the time that you've been with Navy Federal? Have you seen that often that people do that?
Yeah, I'm actually getting ready to do it myself pretty soon.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, great. All right, so that's number 2. So what's number 3? What's the third thing that Navy Federal won't tell people?
Yeah, so another thing is, like I said, again, you're allowed up to 3 unsecured credit cards, but out of those 3 unsecured credit cards, they have 5 altogether. It's the More Rewards, the Go Rewards, the Platinum, the Cash Rewards, and the Flagship. And all of those credit cards, besides the Flagship credit card, has a limit of 80,000. When all these other credit cards have a credit limit of up to 50,000. But the Flagship Rewards credit card is like Navy Federal's top tier credit card because like it has like all these exclusive benefits and travel stuff, and you get 3 reward points for every dollar spent on travel and stuff like that. So with that credit card, it allows you to go up to an $80,000 credit limit. But all the other Navy Federal credit cards, it's only a $50,000 credit limit. And a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, no, I most definitely did not know that. So that's only with the Flagship that you can go up to $80,000, but the rest of them, you say that the max is what again?
Yeah, the rest of them is up to 50,000, and then the Flagship's going to be 80,000.
Wow. Okay. Wow. And see, guys, that's exactly why we have him here on the channel today. Ishmael is letting you guys know. Again, these are things that some of you guys may, of course, if you guys study, Navy Federal, but some of you all are new to Navy Federal or just heard some things about it and say, you know what? I know that they're the house of high limits or people are getting, high limit credit cards, but if you don't get the right one, you may not get the limit that you are looking to go into. And then what was the last one Navy Federal won't tell people?
Yeah, so one thing that I didn't know, so I'm pretty sure now a lot of people don't know this information too, is you cannot switch the reward points between Navy Federal credit cards. So if you have reward points on the flagship rewards credit card, then you can't switch that to, let's say, the More Rewards credit card, the Go Rewards credit card, and stuff like that of that nature.
Got you. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. And see, that's the thing is that I think people they get so excited about getting approved or getting accepted, getting into Navy Federal, but then they don't know. They just go straight for a credit card or they go for the wrong account. And guys, if you don't know these things prior to, you're not going to put yourself in the best position possible, truly maximize on everything that Navy Federal has to offer. And again, now that you know these things, the question is, how can I go ahead and start applying to this stuff, to my everyday life? Okay. So that's most definitely going to be huge. Well, and of course, Ishmael not only talks about and knows about, Navy Federal. So make sure you guys go ahead and stop by his channel as well, too, to go ahead and get that information. I know a lot of our YouTube members, they always have questions about Navy Federal, things of that sort. And I say, you know what? I know there are people who are most definitely, I won't say more well-versed, but they know different sides of it just from experience. Like you said, you're kind of going through this on your own right now. So, of course, what are some other things that you talk about on your channel?
Yeah, so some other things I talk about like different credit cards. I talk about, some different products that Navy Federal offers, even like for different products that even the PenFed credit union offers, because PenFed is kind of like a rival credit union with Navy Federal. Navy Federal is for sure the #1 credit union. I think PenFed might even be second or third, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's second in the United States. It's like an up and coming one. I know for sure PenFed, they were strictly only exclusively to military personnel. Like recently, over the last couple of years, they opened it up to like pretty much anybody can join. But a lot of people, they like to join Navy Federal because, they want those high limit credit cards. And like credit unions, they're generous. They're not like banks, because what I always say is banks, they're more so in it for themselves, where the credit unions they're here to help us. They're here to help us elevate to the next level. They want to give you those high limit credit cards, but you have to build that relationship with these credit unions first, because they just don't want to see somebody just come and enter in freeload. They want to see that, you're in it here for the long run, and, you look out for their best interest, and they'll look out for your best interest, and how that stuff kind of sort of works.
Absolutely. Guys, make sure you guys go ahead and check out his channel as well, too. So thanks again, Ishmael. We greatly appreciate your time.
Yep. Thanks for having me.